Alright, here we are. We're going to be looking at the verse guitar part to Life by the Drop. We're going to have a shuffle pattern again. The chord progression for the verse is A, E, F sharp minor, and D. Each chord will get one measure, and we'll play that chord progression twice. And here it goes. Again, we're going to remember the shuffle pattern we started in our last lesson. Let's try that again. So that's kind of what it sounds like. You'll notice a few different things in here, like the first measure. We hit that open D there. Just, he's not, when he's playing this, he's not worrying about exactly, I gotta play it just like this. Just kind of going off a feel. And so, that first measure, we got our familiar shuffle pattern with the open A chord. The second measure we'll switch down to E. We're playing like a E5 chord. Same idea. Then in the third measure we're going to play that F sharp minor. You can either wrap your thumb around to get that second fret on the low E and play the chord like this. It's a bar chord, or you can play traditionally, the traditional way, with your first finger across all 6 strings of the second fret. I tend to use my thumb. And in the fourth measure, we're going to go to our D, and we're going to do a boogie woogie. Little boogie woogie guitar. Or you can play it like it's written. As you'll see, in the eighth measure, you can do that boogie woogie, or you can play it as written in this fourth measure. Alright, so that's the 4 measures basically, and then we'll repeat it again. So let's play through those first 4 measures. Let's try that again. Okay, here, let's play through those first 4 measures. Alright, then we'll basically play the same chord progression. It's not quite exactly the same, but the idea is the same. So, again, we're not necessarily, you can look at this note for note if you really want, but if you know how to do your little boogie woogie shuffle pattern. Basically the idea for the verses. Now once you got those verses down, I mean, got the chord progression down, you got your shuffle pattern down, you know, your little boogie woogie. What I'm talking about is kind of going up to that 4th fret. It's not necessarily about, you know, all the little intricate notes, because again, I don't think he's being too picky about it. He's just trying to make the overall feel, because you have to realize it's just the original recording is just vocals and acoustic, and this is basically backseat to what the vocals are doing. It's all vocals, and the guitar is just there during this verse, just there to provide that backing. So the shuffle pattern is very important in maintaining the chord progression, and other than that, you know, it's pretty straightforward. You might have a little, if you're not used to playing bar chords, you might have a little problem in that 3rd measure. Again, you can play it. This is the correct way to play it, and this is the cheater's way. And the only reason we do that is, you know, guys like Stevie Ray and Jimi Hendrix would use their thumb a lot for a lot of these chords. It allows you, kind of frees up fingers, so it's kind of like a bad habit, but a good habit at the same time. So that is basically the part for all the verses. You can look at the tab and go note for note, but ultimately you'll end up kind of just doing the idea for it. You'll play the idea behind it. Because once you get going, you're not really thinking about it. You're just playing the part, the rhythm, the chords, and that's it. So that is the verses. And in our next Life by the Drop lesson, we will look at the chorus.